Dave Palumbo here with Muscle Serpents University, and we're going to be looking at some big snakes today. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we're going to take out my big Burmese Python, Penelope. I've been very slowly feeding her. This year, coming 2019 season, I'm going to try to breed her. For the first time. You know, now that I live down here in South Florida, I can actually legally have Burmese Pythons. In New York, they're illegal. Down here in Florida, you have to have what's called a conditional Class 3 license, which I have. One of the conditions of the conditional Class 3 license is that you do educational videos, you breed them to sell, you display them, and obviously I do a lot of educational videos, and this is going to be the first one we're going to do with Penelope. She's gotten pretty large. I haven't even measured her lately, to be honest with you, but she's a puppy dog and she's really pretty tame. But even with any Burmese Python, because I have another one or two that are not maybe so friendly, you always want to use your snake hook. That's your best friend, because you never know. First of all, you want these snakes to know they're big snakes and they can hurt you if they do bite. You want them to know that we're not feeding them right now. Now, she just ate yesterday, but that doesn't mean that she won't eat again, because she's a hungry snake. And here she is, you can see. So what I do is I touch her with the stick first to let her know that someone's in here, okay? And she's heavy. This stick is not pulling her out of this tank. So if we want to get her out, we're going to grab her. But she knows that now that I'm here and I'm not feeding her, okay? She's a big snake, once again. She didn't eat a very big meal yesterday, so I'm not really worried about regurgitation. These big snakes really don't regurgitate. It wasn't like I fed her a rabbit or anything like that. All right, so here she is. And this is Penelope. She's a big girl. Now, one of the things a lot of people don't realize about these big snakes is that, number one, they're heavy, and because they're heavy, you know, if you just hold them and you don't support them, it hurts their spine. Think about, you know, if someone just grabs you and kind of threw them over your shoulder, threw them over your arm, and you know didn't support your body, it wouldn't feel good. So you want to get them over your shoulder, get some good support, and hold her. So now she feels comfortable. She obviously is not supporting her weight. I'm supporting her weight. The Burms are pretty well known for blowing air. So sometimes when you take them out, you hear them blow air. You probably heard her before a little bit. She's still doing it. And that's just that's just the way they are. That's pretty normal for them. Once again, I'm pretty confident that she's really tame. Not that I'm trying to jinx myself, but they're strong. I mean, she's gripping me right now. I mean, this is pretty strong. You don't want a snake that you don't trust doing this to you. And once again, you always want to have a second person around when you're handling a big snake. She's not gigantic, but she's certainly big enough, you know, that I wouldn't want to get caught here alone with her. Anyway, one of the things a lot of people don't know about Burmese pythons is they think, oh, they're these terrible invasive species. Color morphs like this, albinos, this is an albino, het granite, het green, are not, you know, getting outside and invading, you know, my backyard here in South Florida. We're talking about, you know, snakes that were let go, you know, 20 years ago from a breeding facility during Hurricane Andrew that are out there in the wild now, and those are essentially wild snakes. Okay, this is a pet. If I let my little Maltese out in the wild, it's not going to start reproducing and populate Florida. So there's a lot of misinformation out there about these snakes, and I think it's important that people understand, you know, what's going on, and you have to be a responsible, you know, person. You can't buy one of these little guys when they're little babies thinking, oh, they're beautiful, and not understanding that they need big caging. Look at the size. This is a 6-foot, you know, cage. That's a vision cage that's pretty damn, you know, deep, and you know she's got enough room in here probably to live her whole life as long as I don't overfeed her. You know, some of the bigger ones probably can go into 8-foot cages. So if you don't have the room and the facility to hold an animal like this, it's really not responsible to buy one. And they grow fast. If you feed them, these things will get big. I probably could have gotten her to the size in a year or two if I really wanted to. But once again, I want her to grow nice and slow. Burms are pretty well known for getting respiratory if they don't get enough exercise or if they do get fat and sluggish. So I didn't want that. Like I said, I wasn't in a rush, you know, or anything like that to breed her. So, you know, once again, she's very docile. This is a kind of snake that I can take out, you know, and I wouldn't have a problem doing seminars with her in front of kids because she's very friendly, you know. But I'm going to show you the male I'm going to be breeding to her this year. He's, you know, he's friendly and everything like that, but he's a little bit more, you know, flighty, and that's the kind of snake you don't really want to bring around kids or anything like that because, once again, we don't want to scare anyone. The whole idea behind snake education is to let people know that these are animals. They have, you know, feelings. If they're hungry, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be a little more aggressive. if they feel scared or fear, they might be defensive as well. And so you really want to make sure the snake feels comfortable with you when you're handling it. And one of the best things you can do is when you get these snakes is to start, handling them every day, or, not on days obviously you feed or when they're in shed, but handle them on a regular basis so they understand that you're not a predator and that you're someone that, they can enjoy time with and that they don't have to be afraid of, because that's when they're going to become, I guess, more, I guess you could say, handleable. The more you breed these snakes also in captivity, as we go down the generations, F1, F2, F3, and they get more and more removed from the wild, they become more domesticated anyway. And that's just the case with anything, even boas and ball pythons and carpet pythons. The ones out of the wild are always, more vicious, more aggressive, bad reputations. Blood pythons, for instance, they have the worst reputation as being biters. And, the ones that are being bred now, really, I've been handling them at all the shows, the reptile expos I go to when I interview people. I've never even had one strike at me. So, there's a lot, once again, there's a lot of stuff out there. We call it in bodybuilding bro science, but there's a lot of bro snake science out there as well that people just don't know. The public is hysterical about snakes to begin with because they're scared of them. And, what I'm here to do is educate you guys and let you know that there is a responsible way to keep these things. Not everyone is, one of these piranha, python, lunatics, aggressive lunatics that wants to just show off. There's a lot of responsible snake breeders out there, and I think that it's important that we educate people. And the truth is, ever since the Burms became illegal, more people have been more and more interested in them now because they're harder to get. So, as the laws, I know right now the law allows the sale between states, which had been suspended for a while. How long that lasts, I don't know. But for now, if you're in Florida, though, you do need to get your Class 3 conditional license from the Florida Fish and Wildlife, and you can contact them. And there's, you have to have locks on your cages like we do here. We lock these cages. It's pretty simple. We have, obviously, we have to have an escape plan. We have to give a list of our inventory every year of what we got here. If we produce any babies or something, I haven't yet. Hopefully this coming year I will. And you have to show them what you're doing to help educate the public on this. And that's an important part of the whole process. It's not just about keeping snakes, it's about keeping them responsibly. So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed seeing Penelope here today. And Penelope, say hi to everyone out there in Muscle Serpents University land. And you have any final words? You want to thank your sponsors? Oh, you're thanking Palumbo's Pythons and Bows? Well, you're very welcome, Penelope. I'm Dave Palumbo. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and let me know if you want to see more big snake videos.